you decided to not go on ADHD medication. So tell me how the program helped you make that decision.
Well, I I went from being completely burnt out to having crash um, moments like regularly. I would say every 4 weeks I'd have a bad day where I would completely crash and feel like I can't do this anymore, and I just can't adult. I can't function. I need help, like an extreme dramatic medication, um, or I just can't see myself surviving. Even like I was like, I can't live like this, and I went from that to not having felt like that in ages. Like I don't even remember the last time when it was a regular occurrence before the program. Like in the beginning of the program, I might have experienced it once or twice max, but then that's it. Never again. So hopefully, and now I know. Now I know how to handle it if I could sense that a crash coming. Now I know what to do. I have a skill set from you because of you, and I learned. Yeah, so I learned a lot about dopamine and how to manage dopamine. That it's like a currency. You run out of it, and when you run out of it, it's normal to crash. So it's not like I, I the shame is gone. I used to feel so much shame. I used to feel like something was completely incredibly wrong with me. And now I don't feel alone, and I feel normal, and that what I went through and experienced wasn't just in my head, it was real. It was natural after all the years of stress that I've been through during my like residency and board exam preparations and all the hell that I've been through. So yeah, that's
That's wonderful to hear. And as a medical professional, I am particularly interested in hearing what you thought about the information I shared on dopamine. And have you found that complementary to what you already understand about human biology and health?
well. My background wasn't mainly in psychiatry, but like I knew enough from medical school, but I didn't know practical skills, like how to apply. I knew, okay, what goes on in the head medically, but I didn't have any practical skills of how to deal with it and what does it actually mean when it comes to day to day life, when it comes to washing your dishes. I was clueless, and now I know there's a lot of resources. I'm learning more every day. Like I just downloaded 3 books on dopamine and ADHD, um, and uh, and yeah, you've opened a door for me. And I still don't know if I had ADHD, but I know I haven't been diagnosed, but I know that it's all relevant. Like the tips they give ADHD people is relevant for anyone who's been through burnout and yeah, because it's all dopamine related.
100%. And I think everyone out there, whether they have ADHD, diagnosable or not, struggles sometimes with just really basic things, right? So I remember at one point you shared with me that you finally organized your closet. So
Yeah,
tell me about that, because I know that was a really rewarding experience that maybe a lot of
yeah,
people can relate to.
yeah. My closet was like something that I just could not tackle because I never knew where to start, what to do, and it was so overwhelming and endless. And every day then you add more stuff, you wear more stuff, you try on more stuff, and it doesn't end up back where it was, or like on the hanger. And I was recent like moving my stuff to a new place, and it was just chaotic, and that room felt like a black hole. It even felt haunted, like I had things disappear, and I was like, what, is there a portal in this room from all the stress I associate with it? But yeah, it really is about dopamine. And of course, um learning that all you really need to do is just start, and then a little by little, you find yourself doing more and more every day. And I think the best thing I learned was to have to not just have a daily to-do list, which grows and grows and grows and overwhelms you, but I love how you taught me to have a weekly and a monthly to-do list as well, not just the daily. And that really made a huge dramatic difference. But I don't know exactly why, but there was no guilt associated with not doing something today, because I can do it tomorrow. It gives, and then even if I don't do it that week, I get inspired to do it the following week. And so that was really dramatic. As someone who I'm a lover of lists, I've had lists all my life, but yeah, that was amazing. That helped with my dressing room as well. As breaking it down into smaller tasks, like one shelf at a time, like my beach wear and summer clothes, and it being a one to do thing instead of having, organize a dressing room. It's just daunting task that seems endless. Yeah, you break it down, and then you make it a weekly thing instead of something that is on your mind every day, like, oh, I have to do this. And yeah.
That's awesome. You are talking about the Dopamine OS right now, which is the system that we installed for you to help you do a new way of keeping lists, which is more advanced and being able to break it down into daily, weekly, monthly. And I'm actually really happy to hear that it has worked so well for you. And then there were some other productivity gains that we made. Tell me about the outlining of the book process, because I remember
Yeah,
you mentioning you were like so happy
that
that.
was we started off with that, and that was like that from the very beginning. I was like, okay, this is worth all the money I spent. And yeah, a task like that, writing a book, for someone like me, probably has ADHD, is just, you don't know where to start. You're all over the place. I have research, I have notes, and then one session with you where you basically got me to write a whole outline for the chapters for the whole book, and then for the chapters, for each chapter, and how to write it, and was like, it was everything. It was like, oh my God, it went from being such a just chaotic dream to an actual goal that I see and visualize and can accomplish and can start on. And yeah, and doable. You made it doable. And that was the biggest gift. That was the biggest gift.
Well, you're most welcome. And I loved working with you, Sally, because you are so good at just taking the stuff that we talk about and then applying it. And you have an amazing, very positive mindset. What else did you take away from the program, and what are the, breakthroughs happened?
I do love experimenting, but most of my experiments failed. But no, the program with you didn't. It was an absolute success. The one thing I learned that I completely didn't suspect, like, even though I've been hearing about it, and is the digital detox weekend. It's insane how dopamine really is a currency, and when you're depleted, you can replenish it by just one weekend of pure relaxation and no streaming and no social media, and and then on the following week you feel brand new, almost like you've been on a holiday or a getaway, and you're full of productivity again. And amazing to learn that it really is like a currency, like you run out of it. And so it's, and then you learn as well that the more things you accomplish and cross off your list, you get that dopamine hit as well. So you do even more and more. So it's an amazing, it's just, it keeps rewarding you. So yeah, once you hack it, and I feel
Mhm.
like you really teach us to hack it
Yeah, yeah,
and
100.
work with it instead of what I used to do, which is just, self-loathing and shame, feeling lazy and useless. It, I'm amazed at how much I've changed. I feel like myself, and I haven't felt like myself since maybe my early 20s, and now I'm in my late 30s. So yeah, it's just amazing that I did all this in 6 months.
Mhm.
I can't imagine. I wouldn't have. I couldn't have imagined this.
You did such an amazing job, Sally. It always takes two, right?
Yeah,
In this kind of
it
process.
does. You're an amazing coach.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And what would you say to people who maybe are hesitant to work with a coach? Maybe they're embarrassed, or maybe they think they can figure it out on their own.
Oh, well, if I don't think you can figure it out on your own, or you would have by now as an adult. Some people are gifted, some people are natural, or they have the genetics for discipline, and or they're completely neurotypical. And but if you're struggling, then you need then think of it as a problem that you need help fixing. uh, we definitely need help, and we need accountability, which is something that you gave me as well, which I realize I always need. And so now so now I know that, and I will always aim to have that person in my life to help me stay accountable. It's almost like that mirroring method where they say people with ADHD can't do anything unless someone is there. I also started getting, because I'm terrible with chores, when I get a helper to maid to come and help me clean, I get
Mhm.
all my chores done while she's there, because she's working, I'm working, I put music on, um, and it's just great to stop fighting yourself, fighting, and it's like you're up against all that resistance and the shame and the judgment, self-judgment. Like the things I say to myself in my head, I would never say to anyone, not even my worst enemy. And so to learn to work with yourself, work with your weaknesses, it's a superpower. Yeah.
Truly, truly it is. And you remind me, there was something else you mentioned, which is you've been working out consistently at the gym uh,
Three
since we
times a
started
week.
working together.
Yeah. Yeah. That was easier than I expected, because also that was relating to the weekly thing. So making it 3 times a week thing took a lot of the pressure. Um, yeah, made it doable. And also related to the lists on the dopamine OS is that a lot of things that were on my dailies became so habitual that I ended up removing them. Like I didn't need to have them on the list anymore. I did them naturally. And that's amazing because I really struggle with creating habits. Really, really struggle. Like the only thing I do automatically was just brushing my teeth twice a day, and that was, and flossing, and that's it. Nothing else. Everything else needed a decision. Even to take a shower involved, oh, I have to take a shower. Um, and yeah, so it was amazing to have things like morning stretches and become a habitual thing.
Yeah, powerful, powerful stuff when those habits can become just automatic, right? So
Yeah,
it sounds like you don't have to think about them anymore. So they're not even on the list. They're
yeah.
just
I ended up removing them, even though it's fun crossing lists off as something off your list. Yeah, like right. I just got good news that I'm accepted for a fellowship in Toronto, and that was on my main goals list. So I can't wait to cross that off tomorrow. That that would give me a dopamine kick.
Yes, absolutely. That's amazing. I think everything I remember you set out to do, that you put on your mood board, you are coming to actually make that real,
Yeah,
like making it
yeah, it's
physically.
happening. The
Yes.
trip to Thailand was on the mood board, and it happened.
Mhm.
The book I'm writing, and now I have a deadline, which is before the fellowship, so that's gonna even motivate me more to finish the book. Uh, Definitely always need deadlines. Yeah.